Don't mind if I pop my head out of this mirror window. The edges are a bit sharp though. These intros are getting more and more ridiculous as we go on. This video, we're looking at mirror. It's been requested a ton of times, so we're going to crack on and we'll get stuck into it. I feel like I say this about every operator we talk about on these guides. Mirror is unbelievably strong when used the right way. She literally has a one-way mirror where you can see through and the attackers can't. Like, it's so good. If you find yourself in a rank game where mirror isn't banned, definitely one of your other squad get on the mirror. She's useful on nearly every site, and you can make a case for her on probably every site. But yeah, she's super strong, so definitely make use of her when she's not banned. Now, as always with the guides, I'm going to follow the same theme. I'm going to start with the basics. There's going to be timestamps in the timeline below to go between the basics, some mirror tricks, a couple of site setups that I like. You already know the basics, skip to what you want to see, and hopefully you can still learn something. I know I've started saying this at the beginning of the video. I'm going to keep that going. Do me a favor, if you like the video, if you like my other videos, sub to the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it makes me day. So cheers. So just to talk about Mira very briefly, as I mentioned earlier, she has a one-way window that she can look through. You can't shoot through that window, but you can put it half on a reinforced wall, and so the wall next to it is soft. So you can peek around the soft wall and then take cover back behind the reinforced wall. They are quite fragile. With the right way of playing around a mirror window, if the other team knows what they're doing, it's easy to get rid of the mirror window, especially with vertical play, nades through C4 holes, hard breach devices. So you've got to make sure you look after that window using either Bandit or Jaeger or whatever it might be. But if you've been lucky enough to play a mirror on a site and it's not been banned, make sure you look after the mirror. It can literally win you the round. As always, that's enough of me waffling on. Let's have a look at mirror and let's get stuck into it. So starting out as we always do, we'll look at the loadout for mirror. For me, I don't think there's that much of a conversation to be had here, other than how good the Vector is. I don't think there's an argument to take the pistol or the prox alarm. The prox alarm maybe at times, but the C4 is always going to win for me. I don't think there's ever a case you would take a pistol over the shotgun so you can make those new lines of sight that we're going to talk about. I am allergic to shotguns in Siege. Like, they just don't work for me. If you can use shotguns in Siege, maybe you could argue about taking the ITA. But for me, the Vector is an absolute headshot machine. I use a hollow flash hider and vert to bring that vertical recoil down. It's up to you what you want to use, really. Again, sights completely dependent on what you prefer. You could use a reflex, even a red dot becoming more popular these days. But 1200, I know it only does 23 damage, but 1200 fire rate is so fast. You can spray people down so quickly. The Vector is a really good gun. For me, there just isn't much of a conversation other than Vector, shotgun, C4. So we're on to the basics of mirror and how to use her utility, which is fragile at times, but incredibly strong. So the main use of playing mirror is to reinforce one side of the wall and to leave the other side of the wall soft. One side you're going to put your mirror on, and this side's going to remain soft so you can shoot through it. Now, when placing your mirror, you want to get the edge of your mirror as close to the edge of the reinforcement as you possibly can. So I tend to start off way over, like way too far to the right, and then I'll come back holding the button down until it'll let me put it down. With that now, you can see the mirror glass is right in line with the edge of the reinforcements. We can now see through, and we can pop what we need to from that side. So another key important thing about mirror is you see the soft wall on the reinforcements on the other side still remains in the mirror. If you have time, and I really recommend you do this, especially on the side that you're going to be shooting from. So we're going to be peeking from this side of the mirror here. Shoot out that, and you can now have a clean edge to peek from. I recommend doing it all the way around the mirror if you have chance. I'll leave it on the top so you can see what I mean. I hate this bit of wood that remains there. There we go. We nip back around the other side. You'll now see how much of a cleaner view that gives you. It's crispy on the edge of the reinforcement there, so you can peek around where you need to without having this. You can see at the top there where I left it. It's quite sort of restrictive and you can't quite see everything that you might want to. The biggest mistake that I see when people play mirror is they put the mirror on the wrong side of the soft wall. That means they can't get out where they need to get from. So you saw in the last example where I put the mirror on the left-hand side. I put the mirror here on the last example. I'm going to put it on what I would call the wrong side now. And I'll show you why I think that's the wrong side. Ignore the fact that I haven't got rid of the stuff around the edge of the mirror. So, if I put the mirror this side and somebody's in Kafe here, I'm going to be playing behind this mirror and shooting here and trying to get the kill from here. If someone's holding this soft wall from there, there's absolutely nowhere I can go here other than into vault. That's the only place I can go. If I want to get to there and I want to cross over because they're planting an initiation or whatever it might be, or I need to go out the back door here, Wherever I need to go, I have to cross this area. That, for me, is just the wrong way to play mirror. If I put the mirror where I did in the example before, on this wall, I can play around here. And then if I need to go somewhere, I can go this way. I can go out the back of the door here. And I'm still covered by that reinforcement that's there. When the mirror is this side of the wall, there's nowhere I can go from here. And there's loads of sites where you can find that the mirror actually backs themselves into a corner and can't get out from the spot. As soon as this mirror window gets punched or gets destroyed or gets hard breached or whatever it might be, or gets twitch droned on the tank, there's nowhere I can go from here to escape. If I'm here and I see there's Habana pellets going off on the mirror, I can back off. So just always make sure when you're putting your mirror down that you've got an escape route. As I say, the only place I can go from here without being seen from this soft wall is that angle there. That's all I can do. I can be here, probably about here. That's as good as it gets. Or go through vaults. Always make sure you put your mirror on the side of safety so you can retreat if you need to. So now we know where to place the mirror windows. We now need to talk about how to play the mirror windows. Playing a mirror window requires patience. I know if somebody stood there, you're absolutely desperate to just get the peek off and try and get the kill. And if it's there, by all means, take it. However, a mirror window for an attacker is such a nightmare to clear. And especially if this is protected with ADSs and with bandit batteries, which we'll come on to soon. But to play patiently is the key thing. As long as you're here behind this mirror, strictly speaking, no attacker can come out of Kafe and push on the door, on the waiting room door here. Strictly speaking, nobody can. However, what you tend to find, depending what elo you're playing in, people who play mirror get a bit excited and they're like, oh, I can see you, you can't see me. I've even seen people play mirror just holding like this, which is crazy to me. You've got to be super patient. You've got to wait for your right time to just get that pick out. Because don't forget, the attackers are just going to be holding this part of the wall here. So just be patient. Remember, in defense, and this is key critical, not just with mirror, but with every defender, the onus is on the attacker to come to you. We don't need to stand here holding an angle to them. They need to come and kill us. If they don't kill all the defenders or get the plant down, you win the round. So just be patient. Take your time, take your picks when you can, but don't just overextend and don't give up. The mirror window is such a huge piece of utility if played right. Don't just give it up too easy. The other thing to do when playing a mirror window, which I nearly always recommend, is to make C4 holes across the top. Now, there's an argument to say you shouldn't make C4 holes straight away because they also, don't forget, a C4 hole for us means a grenade hole for the attacker. However, and I'll come on to how to defend a mirror window soon, but there generally should be always an ADS put on the mirror. You should never leave a mirror without an ADS or a one-out disc. So make the C4 holes, and if there's multiple people there, or if you're worried that there might be somebody coming out of there, or someone on the stairs even, who you can't actually see, you can C4 over the top where you need to. Now, if you're anything like me, I tend to, whenever I C4 over a mirror window, I hit the ceiling with the C4 50% of the time. So I'm going to try and do it now and not hit the ceiling. But fingers crossed, your C4 throwing's better than mine. So, as soon as you see someone's there and you might want to get a C4 off, this isn't actually the best example to show you, because if there is someone there, you'd probably just shoot them. But if you wanted to throw a C4, if this was like a plant spot like on Bank that we'll get to, and you want to throw the C4, don't just go like this and, you know, throw the C4 from here, because you're going to get wall banged through the soft wall. Try and quick peek with your C4 as such. Don't stand right here, because it is going to hit the ceiling, but stand a bit further back, get it over the top, and throw it that way. So don't just stand right next to the window, because it's going to hit the ceiling. Step back, get your lean on, and then throw it, like quick peek as you throw it over the wall there. That's your best bet. I've mentioned it a few times, but it is key critical when you're playing a mirror to play a bandit or a mute. A Cade is probably a bit too far, but a Cade does the job as well. But a bandit or a mute to protect this reinforced wall. When you put a bandit battery or a mute jammer on the reinforced wall, it does exactly what it does when the mirror isn't here. So if somebody throws an ace charge at it, or if Habana pallets come on the mirror, as long as the window is electrified or muted, they won't go off. And it's key that that happens, because they are fragile bits of equipment. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is there's always a pesky twitch drone running around. Try and have a look on the cams. As soon as the attacker spawns in at the start of the action phase, get on the external cams and see if you can see a twitch. As soon as the round starts, get outside and see if you can see a twitch. If you can, you know you've got to be super cautious and watch out for twitch drones. Given that drone holes are all over the map, especially on theme park, you've got to just be careful to make sure there's no twitch drone that comes in, because in the heat of the fight, when you're trying to quick peek around here and you're not completely listening to every bit of audio, a pesky little twitch drone will run around here and will just pop this off. So just be careful with that. We talked about bandits and protecting the mirror. Now we need to talk about protecting Mira herself. The key to protecting Mira is, if you've got C4 holes especially, but is grenades. And grenades are going to come over the top of the mirror all the time. So make sure you've got an ADS, maybe even 2 if you're playing a super important part of the map, or a couple of Wamai discs to protect her. Bear in mind with the Wamai discs, place them in a place. Don't just put a Wamai disc like here, because the Wamai disc is going to draw the grenade to it, and Mira's going to have to get out of the way before the grenade explodes in her face. So put a Wamai disc in a place, like maybe over here, or just a bit further away, where she's not going to get blown up by the grenade when the Wamai disc draws it in. So I mean, she will have time because a Wamai disc restarts the fuse of a grenade. So the countdown will start again. So she will have time to move away. But you don't want to just be putting it here because you want Mira playing on the mirror window, or whoever it is playing the mirror window. You want them as close to here as possible. The other thing to bear in mind with mirrors, which came in the last patch, is mirrors can now be punched. And people were saying on Twitter that, oh my god, that's the end of mirror. Mirror's going to be so useless now. You can run up and just punch this mirror and it goes frosted so you can't see through it. If you're playing mirror, or if you're playing on a mirror here, and you let somebody come out of Kafe and walk up to this mirror and punch the mirror, and you don't do anything about it from behind that mirror, you don't deserve to have a mirror there. If you're playing that mirror and you let somebody come up these steps and you don't shoot them at this point here and you let them walk up to your mirror and punch it, you shouldn't be playing mirror. Like, there's the whole punching the mirror thing has, in my opinion, has not changed mirror's strengths one tiny bit. So as soon if someone's coming out of Kafe there and they're walking up to punch your mirror and you don't shoot them here, and you don't, or someone's coming up the stairs and you don't shoot them as they're coming up the stairs, as they're walking right up to your mirror to punch it, then you don't play mirror. However, I will show you what happens if you do punch the mirror. If the attacker gets to the point here, they can now punch the mirror and it'll go frosted, just like that. That doesn't mean you can't, it's still bulletproof, you just can't see through it from the other side. So the mirror all of a sudden goes like this. Now, it's up to you what you do at that point in time. If you can shoot this canister to open the mirror, and you can then play from here. Obviously, it's a two-way street then. They can see you and you can see them. Or you can just leave it reinforced as it is now, because that is now essentially just a reinforced wall. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Don't get too hasty on popping the canister, because it's still the onus on the attackers to have to come through here. Don't give them too many lines of sight. When you feel the time is right, you can pop the canister on the mirror to reveal the glass will disappear and you can shoot through it. It's up to you, obviously, as and when you think the time is right. If you've got a reinforced mirror and it's not broken, it can be a decent strat at times. If people have got the backs here to just pop the mirror and get a couple of kills. It's not very often people will turn the back to a mirror, but, you know, it's up to you to decide when that happens. If you do decide to do that, you just shoot it once. There's a couple of seconds delay. The glass then goes, and then this is now a two-way line of sight. So you can get shot through here just as much as you can shoot through here. So just think about when the time is right to pop that. Like I say, strategically, it can be done at certain times when attackers are not expecting it, but you make that decision as to when you do it. Using this site as an example, mirrors can also be placed on soft walls. It don't have to just be placed on reinforced walls, and they can actually provide some really useful tricks and tips on defense. Let's just use this wall as an example, and I do this on Theme Park. I'll put a mirror here. The mirror now is high enough that you can't get a headshot over it, but low enough that you can make a vault hole over the top of it. So you can now vault the mirror here. So this is strong when, let me widen that a little bit. This is strong when defending this site, and you've got people up by daycare and break room. If you've got people here holding here and holding here, the main door they're going to be worried about is the waiting door here. Always reinforce this, by the way. Always reinforce this wall if you're doing that. So they're going to be worried about the waiting room here and maybe this mirror here. You can then hop over there. You can play the mirror here. Obviously, you just got to watch your ankles and your knees. But you can play here, and as of the time, right, if you think someone's got the back to you because they're looking at the waiting room, you can hop over there and get the kill. Now, there's a couple of maps where there's single soft walls. There's one on Border, for example, upstairs, where putting a mirror on a soft wall, making a rotate over the top, can just give you that little bit of maneuverability around the site where you can pop out in a place where an attacker is not expecting you to pop out. Something to consider. There's a couple of tricks you can do with mirror, and I'm not going to claim this is my own. I actually saw Rasco100 do this first, and if you don't know who Rasco100 is, the first thing you should do right now is search Rasco100 on YouTube. He's another Siege YouTube content creator. He's on Twitch and YouTube. Go and check him out. He's a top fella. I'll put it on the screen now so you can see. There he is. Right, what you can do is you can actually put 2 mirrors on top of one another. Okay, so you got to go prone on the shoes. Wait until you get forward. There you go. Stand up now, and you feel you'll actually be higher up than you were normally. Bang the mirror down there. And crouch and put the mirror underneath it. Just here. And you've now got 1 mirror on top of the other. What you can now do is shoot out the top mirror. Use this bottom mirror as a guide when you need to get up. It'll only work for head height shots, but you can just see the top of people's head there. You know, when you're looking through the ball, you can see people's feet there. You'll be able to see people's heads here, and you pop up. Hello. Good night. Ta-da. Etc, etc. There's a couple of other places around the maps, and there's a couple on border. In fact, I'll jump to border after this clip and show you. There's a couple of maps where you can actually use something to stand on, like these shoes, as an example. Crawl on top and actually end up standing up higher than you would do before. But yeah, you think of that. If you see any others that I haven't seen before, let me know. But we'll nip to the board one and have a look at that as well. So much like the shoes we just saw on Outback, on border here, when you're defending vents and workshop, you can go prone on this sort of cable cover here until it lifts you up, as you've just felt there. Walk over to the wall, get that higher up. You can then put one underneath, just like this. And again, just like the Outback strat, pop out the top one. Anyone... What is that bit of wood doing there? That wood isn't normally there. Hello? Whatever. That won't be there when you do it. As if that one bit of wood covers the exact angle we want to look at from here. Unbelievable. Step back a bit and miss the wood. So yeah, you can hold the window from here, and as and when someone jumps in, you can hold that window. It's quite an expensive bit of utility, and what I mean by that is you're using 2 mirror windows to do one job. Because I mean, you could just hold this mirror window here and then do that instead. But I'm just showing you that if you find things on the floor like this, you can go up on top of them. You have to prone, but then you'll be higher up than you would be, and you'll see us drop slightly. Only slightly, but it's enough to get 2 mirror windows there. Just a little trick you can do with mirror. Okay, so we'll start looking at some site setups. This one on Villa, I think, is really good. So we reinforce the the left half of the games room wall, and we put a mirror right in the middle. I know I've said put them on one side or the other. We put it in the middle on this one, okay? Make a line of sight here, and make a line of sight here. From one mirror now, you can play study door, and you can play top red zombie door from one mirror. What you can then also do, obviously you make a rotate here. I'm not going to go through the full site setup, but just for mirror. You can also then have another mirror here. Put this one on the far right. Somewhere here. There we go. Somebody else can play here. He can get tucked right in from zombie door. So if you need to fire on zombie door, you can. Obviously, you just got to be really careful top red. But now each mirror can protect each other. So if there's pallets on this mirror, if we shoot out a line of sight here, if there's an ace charge that gets thrown on that mirror, you can shoot it off from here, and vice versa. If you're on this mirror here, you can protect this mirror here. It's a bit more dangerous because you've got to peek out to here, which makes you more visible to study window and study door, obviously. But yeah, you can play here, study window, obviously, and also onto zombie door there as well. Really strong setup if protected in the right way. So we're staying on Villa, and we moved over to Trophy Statue here. This one's really strong. Reinforce the 2 right-hand walls of the triple wall. Don't reinforce the left wall. Just that. Put your mirror on the far left-hand side of the middle wall. Then you want to create a line of sight on the left here. Like this. And then go around to the closet wall from bathroom and do the same there. Now from behind this one mirror, you can hold master window. There's an argument as well, by the way, to leave this wall soft, but I don't personally like doing that. You can hold master window here. You can hold master window here. You can also hold the closet jump in as well. As soon as someone jumps in past there, they're a goner. Now on the same site, this is completely up to how you want to play it. Reinforce this wall, and there should be a rotate here. Now, you can either put the mirror this side of the wall and defend here into Astro, or you can put the mirror this side of the wall and defend Astro into Trophy. Now, it's really contentious for what you do. If you put the mirror here, you're probably going to get domed from the window. It's going to get open from the window quite quickly, but it's something they have to worry about. And the same from this side. If you put it this side looking into Astro. You could put them on this wall maybe. If you put it on that wall, you're going to get dome from some trophy door. This mirror is super strong. It's completely up to you what you want to do with the second one, but there's a couple of options you can do there. So we're downstairs on Bank, and this is probably the most popular side to play mirror. I've seen people play mirror on the left side of the wall there. I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I think the best way is on the right-hand side of the wall here. Again, get the mirror far over onto the left-hand side as you can. And now you definitely are going to want to make C4 holes here, 100%. Because the default plant is just there, and you want to try and get your C4 over there. Now, with your second mirror, I sometimes put it on garage wall here. Although I think the more popular area nowadays is to do a similar setup to what you just did there, but for main stairs. So we'll reinforce this side of the wall. And then far over to the right-hand side as you can. You can now also hold the main stairs push and garage from here if you need to. I think this is stronger than putting it on that other wall, personally. So, I mean, that second mirror can be played by anyone. It's, you know, it's up to them what they want to do. However, this is the one that's super strong. So every attacker, usually, on a downstairs defense here, a downstairs attack, is going to want to try and breach, thermite breach here. That's a thermite hole, by the way. And then back up like this. Let me just move this. Back up like this, and then plant here. Now, you can't actually be seen from the mirror here. If thermite's like this, or a banner or ace is like this and planting, you can't actually see them. So you've got to be real careful and listen for the plant. And try and bait, and this is just this is not necessarily a mirror tip, but try and bait your C4 a couple of times and try and see if you can get them off the plant. Every time you hear that rip, whoever's plant, that bell is really annoying. Where's that? Don't know where the bell is. I've never heard that before. I've never really been aware of that. That's annoying. So anyway, back to the tip. Whoever's planting there is going to hear the rip of this C4. If they don't hear it over this in bell. The rip of the C4, try and bait them a couple of times, and then once you see them, if you can see them get off the plant, hold the C4 in your hand so you rip it without them hearing it. And then when they're planting, you've got to get this angle right. Use this as a reference. You see the wall there, it goes round in that sort of grey bar. That's the corner of the wall. So your C4, whilst still protecting yourself from that angle, wants to head over in that direction there. And when you have a look at where that C4 lands, it's absolutely juicy for where that guy's planting. So, now you might kill that first guy, someone else might come in and get the diffuser, but you've just got to start maybe getting aggressive from that point. I also like making a couple of lines of sight here as well, so if I need to, I can peek from here. Now, whilst you peek from here, you're probably going to get a shot from here as well, but you just got to be careful. But yeah, this is immensely strong downstairs on Bank. So we're downstairs on Clubhouse now, and this one for me is actually quite an aggressive mirror. I really like it. You reinforce the two right-hand walls of church. Here and here. Put it on the far left-hand side of the left. That's not as far over as it can go. There we go. That is. And now this is where you get aggressive. You make a rotate here. Like this. And you can play the mirror onto bottom main here. But you can also get aggressive as well. So if you hear someone drop Moto, you can also attack. You can hold Moto hatch. You can attack Moto from here. But you can also go up to top. If you know no one's on main and you want to get out, you can go main. You've just got to be careful because obviously if you die, the enemies have got a way into the back of church. And planting here on the behind the bar is an easy place to plant. So I like doing that and getting aggressive. You know, if someone late in the round, if someone's dropped Moto hatch and they want to try to push to church door, and you can come through here and they're still on church door here, it's a freebie. It's risky. If you don't put the rotate there, obviously you can still play the mirror onto bottom main and a bit into Moto as well. But it's a really strong mirror regardless of how aggressive you get. But the other mirror, I always put it on blue wall here, reinforce the middle. Left side. Obviously be super careful of Moto door, church door, and from here you can play that side, or you can play this side, or you just play around the mirror. Really strong place. We're on Kafe now, and this setup is again incredibly strong. So you want to reinforce the left-hand wall of where the cocktail soft wall. Put your mirror right on the right-hand side like this. From here now, you've got the what you want to do really is get an oryx or an impact to impact out this and impact out the bar here. And you can cover the default plants from here. Now, from here you can see there's the default plant there. And from there, you're going to be able to wallbang that if you need to. You can also C4. Whether you go this side with the C4, you make C4 holes here. And you C4 over the top there. Wherever you go with that. Actually, it wasn't a bad throw. I'll take that. But yeah, you want to make this and this. You want to get rid of the wood in the middle there. And you do that with either an impact with a shotgun. I can show you with this. Takes a bit of a while with a shotgun. You can do it with a shotgun. And the same with the bar. That one's a bit easier to do. So you can see the default plants there. So that's the one mirror there. And you can play off this pretty much all around. You're going to get people on Cigar Shop Door there. And you're going to get people over on New Hatch, which is there. / there. Now, the other mirror is, I think, really, really, really good. I like this one a lot. On the right-hand side of this wall. And again, mirror on the far left side. You're actually safe here from the window. Because of this wall. The window's here, but you're actually safe to play here. You just got to be careful, obviously. Now, the next thing you want to do is reload your shotgun, which I've already done, but it takes a week to reload. Let's come through here and make the holes from freezer all the way through into piano. Like this. Go back to play your mirror. And from here now, you can see all the piano, the door, the small bars behind there. You can see stage. You can even go one step further. I don't like doing this myself, but you can go one step further if you want to. You can make holes into bathroom wall. And make the holes between freezer and bathroom as well. Again, it's up to you how you want to play it. But if you do that, now you can see further across as well. All the way across the stage. You can see that window over there too. I think both of these mirrors are like a lot of sites. You'll have one really good mirror, and the other mirror's like, well, it's okay. On this site, those two mirrors are sensational. So that sums Mirror up for me. I think the fact that she's banned as one of the highest banned operators on defense, along with like Valk, I think it shows how strong she can be when used right. Hopefully the site setups or the tricks have helped you learn a few new things. If you're brand new to the game, hopefully you've gone, you know what, Mirror's pretty decent. You can play her in casual all the time, obviously. But yeah, definitely worth a look in and a really good operator to learn. I've said it at the start, I'm going to say it again. If you haven't subbed to the channel, do me a favor, like the video, comment what operator you want next, and sub to the channel. Costs you absolutely nothing. Makes my day. Cheers. I also stream on Twitch 4 days a week. You can find me there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 PM UK time. On Twitter as well. All the socials will be at the bottom of the screen as I'm saying this. That's probably enough of me talking for another video. Appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.